Substantive laws are better understood through explanation, whereas procedural laws are better understood through practice. I am referring to Civil Procedure Code and Criminal Procedure Code here. CPC and CRPC, both being procedural laws, are better understood through practice. With that being said, I have tried to simplify as much as I can. Hope you find it easier to understand. So, what are the differences amongst judgment, degree, and order? I intentionally mentioned it in this order because it is in this order we will be learning them. We will know it why as we get into the video. A and B, both of them have some dispute regarding the ownership of certain immobile property. They tried to sort out their differences, however, their negotiation wasn't fruitful. So, one of them decided to take their case to the court. Court, upon hearing their case, comes to a decision, and this decision can either be a judgment or a decree or an order. So, the question is, when will the decision of the court be called a judgment? When will it be called a decree? When will it be called an order? Let's find out. Assume that this is the point in time or date when the trial of the case between A and B has begun. Usually a suit begins with the plaintiff filing a plaint and the other party to the case is called defendant. Then the trial goes on for this long and finally it comes to an end at this point. What happens at the end of the trial? One party loses and the other wins. The party who wins the case or in whose favor the case has been decided is called degree holder. The party who loses or against whom the case has been decided is called judgment debtor. So, after hearing both the sides of the case or after crossing all the stages of a civil suit, the case comes to an end with a judgment which is pronounced in open court. This judgment will be followed by a degree. So, at the end of the suit, there will be both a judgment and a degree. Judgment comes first, degree comes after the judgment. With the passing of the degree, the case comes to an end. Now, let's look at the contents of the judgment and degree. Order 20, Rule 1 to 5 of Civil Procedure Code deals with judgment. Section 2 is the definition clause. Section 2, subsection 9 defines judgment. So, the judgment contains the concise statement of the case, that is, the narration of the plaintiff and the defendant, the points for determining the case, and thereby what decision he has arrived at, and the reason for coming to that decision. So, the judgment can be understood as a detailed or elaborative explanation of the judge as to why he has come to this decision, as to why he has decided the case in the plaintiff's favor or the defendant's favor. Hence, the judgment would include all the relevant evidences that were produced, the statements of the witnesses, the precedents that were relied upon, or that would support his decision. All such details would be found in judgment. And after the passing of the judgment comes the degree. Degree finally determines the rights and duties of the parties to the suit. By going through the degree, you will know the outcome of the case. Now that the case has been decided, what are the rights and the responsibilities of the parties? These can be found in the degree. Although the contents of the judgment as shown here seems to be much fewer than the degree, it is actually the judgment which is lengthier. Degree, on the other hand, tend to be short, direct, and have precise statements as to the outcome of the case. Although I have not mentioned in the list here, the judgment also contains the suit name, the name of the court, the details of the parties, the advocates who represented the parties, along with the name of the judge who gave the judgment. Because without these details, it would be an anonymous piece of paper with bunch of words scribbled all over. Worthless. The reason why I have not mentioned them here is because I wanted to show the exact contents of the provision. This decision of the lower court can be challenged in a superior court. The party who is aggrieved by the court's decision can prefer an appeal in a superior court. It is against the degree, not judgment, that an appeal may be preferred, as it is the degree that concludes the suit. But you have to give reasons as to why you prefer this appeal. By going through the judgment, you will know why your case has been decided this way. And if, according to you, the judgment is not satisfactory, by reasons like any important points or any relevant evidences that has not been taken into account by the lower court, For other such reasons, the lower court's decision can be challenged. You also have other options like review or revision, but that's besides today's subject, so let's have it for some other day. Now let's look at what an order is. An order is also a decision of the court, but unlike degree or judgment, an order does not put an end to the case. Order is defined under section 2 subsection 14 of Civil Procedure Code. Do you remember this? The case began with a plaint and ended with a degree. During this period of time, that is, during the trial, if one of the parties to the case wants something to be done, something that is essential for the case needs to be done, then that party may put forth his or her claim before the court. For instance, assume that the plaintiff wants a witness to be examined, but there is a problem. The witness, because of extreme old age, is bedridden, that he cannot move anywhere. So he cannot be expected to come to court, stand in the witness box, and give his testimony. But plaintiff strongly feels that his testimony is very important to the case. Here, the plaintiff can do something. He can file an interim application asking for appointment of a commission to examine the witness. Interim application is also known as interlocutory application. Defendant has the right to oppose or accept the same. Court may consider the genuineness of his claim or plaintiff upon sufficiently proving his claim, court comes to a decision. Court may either grant his claim or dismiss his claim, and this decision of the court is called an order. In criminal case, granting a bail is an order, not a degree, not a judgment. Court can pass such order upon receiving applications from parties, or it can do so motu, meaning upon court's own interest. So basically, an order is the decision of the court which is not a degree. A degree puts an end to the case, but an order does not. Similar to degree, order can also be challenged in a superior court by stating the grounds for preferring the appeal. But not all orders are appealable. Only orders that are mentioned as appealable under section 104 of CPC are appealable. So only appealable orders can be appealed. If the appeal against the order is accepted by the superior court, until the appeal before the superior court is finally decided, the suit before the lower court remains pending. Thus, you have the differences amongst judgment, degree, and order. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Consider subscribing to my channel. That's it for today. See you in another video. Bye.